Tonight on CitrusTV News.
I will not sugarcoat this. This is a disappointing day for us.
No deal. Trump pulls GOP healthcare bill with not enough votes to pass.
Here on campus, we celebrated SU's 147th birthday. We'll recap the National Orange Day celebrations.
Some snow remaining from the end of winter is not making it look the best outside, but with the start of spring, the temperatures are making it feel a little better. I'll tell you what weather we have on our way in my full forecast. Your campus news leader, CitrusTV, starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
New tonight, after days of deliberation, President Trump pulls the proposed GOP healthcare bill. Good evening, I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Johnny Oliver. The bill did not have enough votes to repeal Obamacare, and Trump says Democrats are to blame.
I will not sugarcoat this. This is a disappointing day for us. Doing big things is hard. All of us, myself included, we will need time to reflect on how we got to this moment, what we could have done to do it better.
President Trump pulled the GOP healthcare bill off the House floor around 4 p.m. today. They were short on votes and avoided a defeat by pulling the bill.
President Trump thanked Speaker Paul Ryan for working hard on the healthcare effort, and Trump blames Democrats as the reason the vote did not pass.
President Trump spoke briefly after the decision and called Obamacare explosive, but Paul Ryan said that the U.S. will be staying with Obamacare for the foreseeable future. And here in Syracuse, U.S. Representative John Katko said he was still committed on voting no to the Republican plan to repeal Obamacare. A spokesperson tweeted that Katko was going to review the plan last night, causing people to wonder if he would change his mind. Katko announced that no changes to the bill would change his mind, and Katko is one of the 30 Republicans who have publicly announced that they will be voting against the bill.
And a happy birthday to SU today. National Orange Day was held today at the end of Philanthropy Week, but also as the celebration of the university's 147th birthday. CitrusTV News reporter Adam Unger is live in Schine Student Center with a recap of the celebrations. Adam?
Thanks, guys. Well, happy National Orange Day. And like you said, this has been a culmination of Syracuse's Philanthropy Week. Now, a couple of those programs include Class Action Day, which is the start of the donation process for this year's graduating seniors, along with Thank a Donor Day, where they table in Schine, and that was also on Tuesday. And current students have an opportunity to thank them. Now, there have been tables in Schine all week, and I've seen a ton of people in orange. But for one Syracuse student, Andres Lagunas, it's more about the information than the celebration.
I think it's really important to acknowledge all the contributions that the alumni make for us. They really make our campus what it is. And I just learned a lot of facts this week, like for example, what we pay for tuition covers only 80% of the actual cost. The other 20% is covered by alumni and donors. So I think it's really important for us to recognize those contributions and be
like you guys said, 147 years old for the university, but everybody's favorite orange is still young at heart. Reporting live from Schine Student Center, I'm Adam Unger. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Adam. Many service events will continue to be held tomorrow by alumni to honor Syracuse's birthday by giving back.
SU announced a new academic partnership with Lemoyne College earlier today. The new initiative will combine the expertise of SU School of Information Studies and Lemoyne's business school, the Madden School. Under the new partnership, Lemoyne undergraduate students can also apply early to Syracuse's College of Law. The new initiative is also in addition to a long-standing relationship between the two institutions. And the Student Association is partnering with other SU offices to help support undergraduate students over the summer. The select students include those interested in conducting research or creative work during the summer of 2017. The program includes $2,000 research stipend and access to various university facilities. The SA hopes this program will assist scholars financially and academically. Applications are due by Friday, March 31st at 5 p.m.
The Federal Aviation Administration says the number of drone crashes is increasing. That's why an aerospace engineering professor at SU was crash testing drones today at the Center of Excellence to research drone safety. Professor Mark Glauser says the FAA is concerned about the unmanned aircraft systems failing, especially if they hit humans. He says sensors were built into a crash test dummy where they could measure the impacts from different heights. Glauser says the test results will guide manufacturers to make safer drones in the future.
So there's design suggestions that we can make to the industry to minimize the negative impacts that we would find here. So here we're looking at extremes. We look at the flat drop, which, you know, if that gets dropped on my head, it's probably not too bad. Whereas if that thing comes down like this, I'm probably hurting it in the hospital with something nasty.
Sundance on Tour returned to SU for a 2-day program about virtual reality. The event took place in the Hurd Auditorium in Newhouse and began last night at 7 and continued into today from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It featured multiple VR installations and included panel discussions with VR creators and journalists. Topics discussed included the VR's impact on humanity and the future of technology.
When I think about VR, I don't think about it being something that makes us not human. I just think it's something we'll incorporate into our humanness to begin to tackle other problems we couldn't tackle in the past.
The Multicultural Empowerment Network is presenting a panel discussion titled Redefining America on Sunday at Hendricks Chapel. The event will cover a wide variety of topics, including immigration, healthcare, and media representation in today's society. Panelists include SU professors as well as local and state government employees. The panel starts at 2:30 in the afternoon Sunday. And former Vice President Joe Biden has returned to Central New York to give a speech at Colgate University. The speech is open to the public, but tickets are required. It's taking place tonight at 6:15 in the Stanford Fieldhouse. Since leaving the White House, Biden has launched a foundation aimed at fighting cancer. He has also planned on starting to teach as a professor in the new Penn Biden Center later this year.
AAA says March is the #1 month for flat tires for Western and Central New York. According to a recent study by the American Automobile Association, pothole damage costs U.S. drivers up to $3 billion every year. Potholes form because of freeze and thaw cycles in winter months. O'Connor said the middle of April to the middle of May is the busiest time of year for repairs. Drivers can report potholes online on the city's website.
It is a year-round operation. However, we do about 10,000 a year, and that being said, the peak time is really like right around now.
It was a rainy day in Syracuse today, and believe it or not, Johnny, it's actually spring.
Yeah, David Edelstein is here to tell us what weather we can expect for this weekend. David, I'm tired of it being cold. Are we going to start seeing spring temperatures anytime soon?
Well, Johnny, it's definitely spring. The season is here. There is some snow still outside, but let's start by taking a look. Right now, it's about 45 degrees outside. There is going to be some rain around 8 p.m. That's going to taper in and out throughout the next few days, and that's really the story that we'll be looking at. Going ahead, though, take a look at these current temperatures. Kind of on the east is getting missing out on that springtime. Meanwhile, the west, like Rochester, Penn Yan, and Elmira, definitely up at 56 degrees. They're getting the beginning of spring, and the temperatures are going to go up from there. We have this map here. A lot is going on. We're going to take a look at this more later, especially this line right here as it goes right through central New York and Syracuse. We'll drill down on that later in the broadcast.
Coming up, what nation leader do White House officials say is coming to the White House to meet with Trump?
Plus, how London is recovering from this week's terror attack. That and more when CitrusTV News returns.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Johnny Oliver, Jamie Weiss, and
President Trump's administration has issued a permit to build the delayed Keystone Pipeline. This permit clears the way to finish the $8 million project.
Trump says the pipeline will reduce American dependency on foreign oil and bring in a new era of American energy policy. The administration is expected to make more decisions that prioritize economic development over the environment.
And a filibuster of Supreme Court nominee Gorsuch is looking more realistic. Senator Harris from California and Senator Murray from Washington announced that they will not support President Trump's nomination.
This comes after the Senate questions Judge Neil Gorsuch 2 days this week. 7 Democrats have already announced they will vote against Gorsuch and filibuster if necessary.
London is still recovering from the recent attack on Parliament, and London residents are leaving floral tributes to honor the police officer who died during the attack.
Prince Charles met privately with some of the victims earlier today, thanking the staff at King's College Hospital for treating 8 of the victims. Senior faith leaders also gathered near the Parliament to mourn the victims and to share encouraging words to Londoners.
We remain keen to hear from anyone who Khalid Masood, anyone who knew Khalid Masood well. Anybody who understands who his associates were, anyone who can provide information about the places he's recently visited. There might well be people out there who did have concerns about Masood, but weren't sure or didn't feel comfortable for whatever reasons in passing that information to us.
An anonymous White House official announced that Trump will meet with Egypt's president in April. The visit has not been formally announced, but the two leaders spoke on the phone before Trump's inauguration.
Trump has repeatedly mentioned Egypt as one of the Muslim-majority allies that the U.S. should remain close with to fight against ISIS. While Egypt is a major recipient of U.S. aid, it is under review because of the new proposed budget plan.
from the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
All right, a few minutes ago, we were taking a look at this map here. You see a lot going on, but what I specifically want to point out is two things. One, look at this storm here. It goes from Dallas, Kansas City, up through Chicago, and then also the second part here that's in the northeast corner going out to Boston. Taking a look at our weather radar, you see those two things. Here is that storm on the side and the storm on top. Right now, we're experiencing some of this weather in the Syracuse, central New York area. That weather is bringing some of the rain that we're going to experience pretty much for the next full week. Unfortunate news in the beginning of spring, but like they say, as April comes, April showers do bring the May flowers. But the second thing to notice is that storm on the side here. It's going to follow that trajectory that we looked at before and go through the top area of our country, southern part of Canada. That's going to bring a second storm. So both of those together will cause some problems. Taking a closer look at the Syracuse area, you can see there's just a lot of cloud cover. Some of it's coming through. You see some pink and some purple. That's going to be some colder snow and sleet that makes its way in. But besides that, a lot of cloud cover and just some drizzles. Tomorrow, it's going to be 36 degrees, a lot of fog in the morning, but that will move out by 9 a.m. And then tomorrow, the high is 41 degrees, the low 31. There's going to be reduced visibility because of that fog and periods of rain throughout the day. Now, if you're going to be on campus for either of the two lacrosse games this weekend, tomorrow you have the 9 a.m. is going to be 36 degrees. Moving into noon, only a little bit warmer, 38. And then at 6 p.m., 41. You go from rain into just some fog and some clouds. But now we have our high temperatures here. Spring has started, so let me give you some good news. It was on the March 21st a little bit warmer. We had a dip down into March 22nd, but from here, it's really just going to keep getting warmer as it happens, up to the 25th, 26th, and throughout the rest of this week. We're getting up to 58 degrees, hanging out in that 60-degree area. Again, that's going to just kind of move up into here, and that's what spring is bringing, the warmer temperatures. You could see all together, a little bit of the dip there on the 22nd, but then getting warmer as we progress. Now looking at our 5-day forecast, you see all that rain that I talked about. It's going to be a little bit overcast on Monday. There's only some rain, mostly just clouds, and then getting warmer also at 56 degrees. Wednesday is when we are going to see some sun come in, but it's going to be kind of a blend between that sun and a lot of clouds.
Well, David, I'm looking at the weather. It looks like a lot of rain, but when is it truly going to feel like spring?
It's truly going to feel like spring in the next coming days. We just took a look at how that weather is. The temperatures are rising. And so we're going to kind of steady out around 60 degrees. And that's where it should hold. And also the sun there on Wednesday, too, helping warm it up.
Well, we're looking forward to that warmer temperatures. Thank you so much, David. Coming up, a new resolution that will affect what kind of data the FCC receives from your cell phone.
In stocks today, we're affected by the healthcare decision. We'll tell you the results. Citrus TV News will be right back.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
A new report finds that the white working class in the U.S. is experiencing increased mortality rates due to suicide, opioid addiction, and liver disease. This new information runs opposite of the global trends where mortality rates are actually decreasing. More research is being conducted to better understand this current trend within the U.S. The Senate has passed a resolution to stop the FCC from enforcing rules that ban internet service providers from selling your cell phone and cable data without consent. The party line vote has little immediate impact as the new measure still needs to be passed by the House and signed by the President. The new FCC regulations that the measure would overturn aren't scheduled to go into effect until December.
There are mixed results on the stock market after the healthcare announcement, but the market closed at its worst since the election. Several healthcare companies' stock rose with the bill not going through, but overall, more stocks fell than rose on the New York Stock Exchange, and the Dow Jones average lost 0.3%. Algae may be the fuel of the future for airplanes. A company in Japan is aiming to produce 33,000 gallons of jet fuel a year from the country's first algae biofuel refinery. Oil and dried algae powder is chemically similar to kerosene and jet fuel. The company is calling the new fuel green crude as it will still have to mix with some jet fuel. The idea came from a comic. And Emma Thompson fans are in for a surprise. The award-winning actress said in an interview that President Trump asked her out on a date in 1998. She said that Trump called her shortly after her divorce with Sir Kenneth Branagh. Trump had then just divorced his ex-wife Maria Maples. The two had never previously met. Trump is now married to his current wife, Melania, while Thompson is married to actor Greg Weiss.
Coming up next, men's lacrosse is back in ACC play when it takes on rival Duke at the Carrier Dome. Plus, tonight's March Madness Sweet 16 action, and Orange football hires a new coach. Stay tuned to Citrus TV.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
It's a rivalry renewed at the Carrier Dome this weekend. Good evening, I'm Kevin Ryans with sports. Syracuse lacrosse looks to extend its winning streak to 4 and move to 2-0 in the ACC tomorrow when it takes on Duke. It's the 17th time these two schools have met on the turf, as she holds a 10-6 advantage over the Blue Devils all time. Syracuse and Duke split to 2 games with each other last season. The Cuse lost an overtime heartbreaker during the regular season, but enacted its revenge in the conference championship game. With it being a new season, head coach John Desko pointed out that this Duke team is a little bit different.
Well, I think they're doing it more as a unit, and that attack's doing a very nice job. Guttering is doing a really good job. Bruckner, they're kind of being the leaders right now, and some of the young midfielders are starting to step up and do some scoring. But a little bit like us, where they're sharing it all over the field. They're not relying on just one guy all the time. And they've got a nice offensive scheme, and again, I think their defense has been playing very well with their goaltender playing well.
Syracuse and Duke face off at 1:30. Switching over to the women's side, Syracuse returns to ACC play this weekend in the Loud House after playing 3 straight games on the road. The Orange take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish Sunday at noon. Syracuse is coming off a 17-16 overtime win against Harvard, its 8th win of 2017. The Cuse is ranked 8th in the latest media poll. Moving on to the ice, the Crunch is back at the War Memorial tonight when it takes on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins. Syracuse has only 1 win in its last 4 games, but still has a slim 2-point lead for first place in the North Division. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton has 89 points and two only leads by a slim margin in the standings. Elsewhere, Syracuse football adds a veteran coach with a winning pedigree. The Orange hires Steve Stannard to coach the team's defensive ends. Before coming to SU, Stannard served as a defensive coordinator at Wyoming. The nearly 30-year coaching veteran also worked as the linebackers coach at North Dakota State in 2012 and 2013. During that time, the Bison won 2 FCS national titles. Meanwhile, on the hardwood, the Nets are eliminated from playoff contention based on their record, but it can spoil its opponent's chances of bettering its postseason position. Brooklyn is on the road tonight to take on Washington over on the road. The Wizards come into this game a half game ahead of Toronto for the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. A win here will ensure they remain at that position going into its road matchup with Cleveland on Saturday. The Nets are on this first 2-game win streak this season, with its last victory coming against the Suns last night. Finally, it's another exciting night of March Madness as the Sweet 16 continues on. Number 4 Butler takes on the number 1 seed North Carolina at the top of the hour. Meanwhile, coming off a win against Duke, South Carolina continues its hot streak, going on to face Butler over at Madison Square Garden. The other Madison Square Garden game is Wisconsin taking on Florida. That's over at 10 p.m. And UCLA, a battle of the 2 biggest freshmen in the NCAA. The UCLA takes on Kentucky over tonight. And that one, I think, is in Memphis, Tennessee.
Kevin, all year long we heard about how the Syracuse men's basketball team was playing in the toughest conference in the nation, but suddenly the ACC only has 1 team left in the second weekend of the tournament. What happened to the ACC?
Yeah, you know what? It's March, and you know when you never know what happens during the NCAA tournament. We saw it last year with Syracuse. Don't think anyone expected Syracuse to go all the way to the Final Four, but you know this year the ACC took a little bit of a hit early on, and it's to no fault of their own. They're a great conference. Just that all the other teams got hot this season.
Single elimination is tough. Thanks, Kevin.
We'll have one last look at your weather when we come back.
Stay tuned.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Citrus TV's David Edelstein is back, and I remember you mentioned something about seeing some fog tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so as these clouds are here and we're going to be expecting some rain over the next 4 or 5 days, there's going to be a lot of fog tomorrow morning. Like I said, it's going to move out by the late morning, around 9 a.m., but still there's going to be reduced visibility, so walking outside could be a little bit harder than normal. You won't see the normal 10 miles visibility that you do, and driving, definitely be safe. You got to have the fog lights on. You have to make sure that you're getting around safely.
So tomorrow, is it going to be raining all day, or are we going to get a break at any point?
Yeah, so once that fog moves out at 9 a.m., there is going to be some on and off rain. It will be more throughout the day. Tomorrow's going to be the heaviest day of rain, and throughout the next few days will kind of be more drizzles, really just some periods here and there. But tomorrow, definitely throughout the day, have the umbrella handy.
Well, thank you so much, David.
Of course.
Now, Bao Bao the panda is starting to enjoy her new home. The 3-year-old was born in Washington, D.C. and moved to a Chinese conservatory in the Sichuan province.
After a month-long quarantine, Bao Bao is having fun in her new home. Her handler speaks English and Mandarin to help make her transition easier. We wish Bao Bao all the bamboo she wants in her new home.
She is so adorable. I can't get over this. Well, that is all for Citrus TV News this evening.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CitrusTV News.
I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Johnny Oliver. Have a great night, Syracuse.